Welcome everyone to the No Fear Investing Show. We are your hosts. This is Mike McKenzie right there, and I'm your host Nathan Amaral. Welcome. If you're new here, let us know by posting new in the comments below so we can say hello to you. And if you're if you are a pre-existing member and you've been here for a while, let us know also by saying
we cover pre-existing members.
I was going to say we cover pre-existing members, just in case you were wondering. If we did it, we do. But I'm red today and you're blue. What's that about? Oh, never mind. We'll move on. Politics. Mike, let's kick it off with. I do want to talk about why you're there and all that stuff, right? And we want to talk about the pros and cons and the positives and negatives of you being there. But I want to kick it off with some of our clients' success. And I'm going to start right at the top here. I got Donald, who has gotten another property under contract today. Hold on. I have a sound effect for this. There we go. Mike, if you don't know, you can't hear it. It's a bunch of people clapping.
I'll watch it on the replay. Sounded great.
Great, right? Yeah, I told you I was going to be more prepared now moving forward. So we got a pre-existing member checking in. Donald, good to have you here. He's got the property listing tomorrow. Also, he's got a closing scheduled for or on or before November 9th, okay? And that's always a funny thing, like on or before, right? The whole idea is to close these things faster and move them along. Mike, let me just interject with a question here. How would you go about getting something from the 9th in this example to the 30th, to the 29th? How would you go about making that happen?
Oh, for the love of God. That's funny you bring that up because dealing with it's a new attorney that will not be getting a lot more business probably. But long story short, they're like, why are you in a rush to close this contract? Your, contract expiration date's, 4 months away or something.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. But obviously, if I'm doing a double close, I need you to close the first part.
Right.
So I can close the second part.
Right.
So sometimes it takes, explaining things to title companies or whoever to push those dates up. A lot of times they don't understand. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, because I would definitely say getting on the phone as just a strategy. I know a lot. For example, I got to give a literally happened today example. I was talking to one of my funding clients today, and she had this whole dialogue with the closing escrow attorney for about 3 weeks, all the way through email the entire time. It wasn't until today, that closing was today, that there was miscommunication. And then I could just read in the emails, I said, hey, did you ever get on the phone with this title company or this closing attorney, this escrow officer? And she said, no. I said, well, I think a lot of things could have been sorted out, made better. Maybe a friendship, little bond could have been built to, one, have it close sooner, to get clearer understanding. And to make all that happen, Mike, what would you do in that kind of a situation? Are you more the type to like, hey, let me jump on the phone with them, or do everything completely email and text only?
I do a lot of email. Just one thing I like about the email is that there's a paper trail. So if they come back and say, hey, I didn't know that, well, on October 7th at 4 p.m., here's an email. So I like that. Yeah. Even if I talk to them on the phone, a lot of times I'll do just a quick basic follow-up
with an email. Yeah.
Just so everybody's on the same page. I know that some things can get confusing with the way we do stuff, especially if your attorney's not used to it. So just kind of following up and making sure everybody's on the same page can be very helpful and be beneficial to cause less confusion in the long run.
That's very true. And I think also what for my angle to it is I like to jump on the phone because when you build that personality, you build that bond and relationship, you kind of move things along. I don't know why, but my wife even tells me this. She's like, whenever you actually jump on the phone with people, things get closed a lot faster. And it's actually, I don't know why, it's just a skill that I've learned to do and apply. And you know what? Those things tend to move along a little bit faster. That's just my experience. Okay, so let's move to his third update. I'm trying to get in contact with some churches and get the property under contract in my city. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm not sure what that means in regards to churches and get the property under contract. I guess maybe it's nonprofit land or something. And I don't know. Not sure. Yeah, but anyway, that's some good updates right there. Good stuff. So he's got another closing happening real soon. That's fantastic. Let's jump down to Adam. Adam had his first closing last week. Awesome, Adam.
He did. I was on the phone with him Friday while I was traveling. He was traveling to the attorney's office to pick up. He wanted a check for the first. He wanted a check.
Nice.
So he was traveling to the attorney's office to pick up the check. But he was super pumped, super excited, and I mean, it's just really kind of just boosted his drive for his business.
Absolutely. It's so true. And I want to share a little, I don't think he'll mind. I hope he doesn't mind. But he sent me an email and he was like, "Hey Nate, I want to send you like a gift, for, you guys being there for me and all that." And I'm thinking he's going to send something on the island. He doesn't know the shipping costs. So I explained to Adam, I'm like, if you ship just documents, just paper, it's like $40 just to get here. Then if you ship a box, it's like $80 to get here, and it has to go to Lisbon to go through customs, sit there for 2 months, and then comes here. It's the most ridiculous system. And I said, please don't ship it.
Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret. He had he wanted me to get your address over there, and then I started thinking, well, hey, I don't know your address over there. There is some logistics to it. I know your business address here in the States.
Right.
Because that's where we do everything.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't really think real deep on it. You're a logistical nightmare to get something
It's horrible, honestly. And you know how Amazon has Amazon Prime for like 2 days and all that? Yeah, good luck. It's more like Amazon Prime 2-day delivery turns into 2-week delivery here, or even sometimes 4-week delivery. It's really tricky. So, but anyway, we'll sort it out when I get over back to the States. So that'll be good. So Adam had his first closing last week. He also has a new investor-friendly attorney in his corner for an area that he's working on right now, which is fantastic. Having a good investing attorney on your side, on your team, is really helpful. Mike, you want to share a story or any things that come to mind about having an investor-friendly attorney on your team?
Well, I'll give you a good example. I had some clients that was having some problems with a particular attorney's office, and they weren't getting anywhere. Well, thankfully, I knew this attorney. It wasn't him. It was he has an office in South Carolina. It was a South Carolina office. Mm-hmm. You and I know the attorney in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It was nice to reach out and say, "Hey, look, we're having a couple problems here. I'm not for sure. Can you help me out?"
Yeah.
Nathan, he emailed me back within an hour. And he had other emails clipped to it to explain what was going on. He also went on to give me a breakdown. This is anybody investing in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Some food for thought. He gave me a breakdown on why title searches take so long in South Carolina. I never knew this. I don't do a whole lot of deals in South Carolina. I just spend a lot of time here. The reason is that South Carolina requires a 40-year search.
Mm-hmm.
At best, it only goes 30 years back online. So they have to have an abstractor to do at least those last 10 years. Well, you do that, put COVID in place where only 4 or 5 people can be in the courthouse at a time. It's an absolute nightmare. So I say this to say don't not invest in South Carolina, but be aware of that and be cognizant of that when you start setting up. Don't tell your end buyer, we can close in 2 weeks. Probably not going to happen.
Sure.
From what I've understood, talking to this attorney and others, that even a cash deal is 30, 35 days out.
With that and options and land contracts, because this came up also. Let's talk about Well, land contracts and owner finance deals. Let's talk about the differences between the two in those contracts. Land contracts, owner finance contracts.
Right. An owner finance contract, mine, basically is a land contract. And because it stays in my name. That's the biggest difference. You know, if you have a piece of land that somebody's going to go ahead and build on, or it needs permits or something, and then you move it to their name, then that's like a traditional mortgage type loan for that property. I prefer to have mine in land contracts. They're a little easier to get back if they stop paying, but I control that they can't really do anything to the property till they pay it off.
Yeah. And that also, oh God, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that also varies from like state to state, because some, like for example, you really would rather do a land contract like in North Carolina, for example, because if you go with an owner finance transaction on a smaller piece of property, that foreclosure process is like $3,000, around $3,000, and it's expensive. So if you put it in a land contract, then you don't have to actually go through that process. Now, here's the thing. In some states, which you're going to want to talk to an attorney, in some states, they don't like land contracts. They don't even view them as, like, I don't want to call it a legal document, but they do not recognize them in the court of law in some states. You definitely want to double check that, because sometimes magistrates will lean more towards another side and they'll be like, I'm not really for it. So I would definitely seek counsel on the state that you're investing in if they prefer land contracts or owner finance ones. But the ones, the easier ones to get out of in a situation, or to set your borrower free, is the land contract for sure.
There's one other option that we talk about that we really don't talk a lot about, because they can be a little bit of a headache. But just to know, just something in your toolbox, and if you ever need additional information, you certainly contact one of us. Is a lease option, where you're leasing that property to them. That's very true. Giving them an option to buy it. So their payment may be $300 a month. You may be $200 of it may be going to the property, $100 is for you or whatever. Yeah. So that's I've done that to houses. We've done that to one of our own houses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I used to do a whole bunch of lease options when I was kind of maybe 13 years ago, when I was kind of getting started in real estate after I flipped a few like single family houses and stuff, got into lease options. And that's actually a more recognized contract than land contracts in the court of law. It comes up more often. And you know what? You still get people to put that down payment. It's still non-refundable to the buyer, and you can use extra that interest if you wanted to. If you want to tack on interest, you can, or if you want to do a flat fee interest. But a lease purchase contract is much more commonly seen in depending on the state that you're dealing with. So yeah, those are some great tips, Mike, for sure. Great stuff.
Especially if you have a house, you don't really want to do a land contract. You definitely want to do a lease option.
Correct.
Or a regular mortgage on a house.
Yeah, definitely. That's a very true point. Yeah, like especially I think on houses, if you're owner financing, even though some houses, depending on the price point, but most houses typically people are doing over $100,000. But on regular bread and butter homes, you really want to have an owner finance contract in place. It's the most secure. And again, seek counsel for that state. Mike, I wanted to transition over into trends. We're coming up on, in the United States, I don't know, what is it, like 15 days away? I don't even know how many days away to an election. And I wanted to get your take on, what do you think is going to happen? What's your theory on what's going to happen with not only just the election, but I don't know, maybe, okay, if President Trump gets reelected, this is what you think is going to happen. If President Biden, if Vice President Biden wins, what do you think is going to happen?
Here's my 2 cents worth on it. I hope that we can have a fair and non-cheating election.
Non-cheating election. No chads. No chads.
Yeah, let's first do that. Secondly, I think if Trump wins, things will continue to progress in a positive manner. And like or hate Trump, as us in real estate, we got to think this is a real estate developer. He's been in real estate.
That's very true.
So he's a businessman too. So he's got a real estate mindset. I'd much rather have him in office just for those reasons alone. He's a businessman. He's not a attorney or a career politician. He gets things done. I think if Biden goes in, I don't think real estate will tank. I really don't. I think that we'll be paying more taxes. But
that's a sure thing.
There may be a ripple in the economy or in real estate itself. But you know what? That's real estate. That's you can't always stay on the high note. People thought in 2006 and 2007 that it would never come down, and it was a long crash down for some folks.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's going to be ups and downs in real estate. My biggest thing is right now, real estate's good. Get all you can. That way, if it does take a slight dip, I don't think you're going to go hungry, but the deals may not be quite as prevalent. But if you've done well this year, then that'll help get through that.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring up something that, I just heard from what you said. When you were talking about President Trump, you sounded so much more confident in how you thought the economy was going to, be like in the next, 4 years, right? When you brought up Vice President Biden, it's almost like you were unsure. You're like, well, I'm not sure. Taxes are going to go up, and I don't know what's going to happen. And that is something that I want to chat about. Is what we've seen so far is just a track record. I mean, we could talk about this all night long, and this isn't the political show here, but the reality is when it comes to President Trump or Vice President Biden, is which one is going to cause more fear in the marketplace. And that, I think, is going to be Biden. That's going to bring where people are going to be unsure. They're going to not know what to do next. They're going to either pull money out of the market or they're going to make decisions right now based out of fear because what's going to happen? The taxes are going to change. Is my income going to change? Are the jobs going to come in as strong as they have been? All those uncertainties. But when you look at what President Trump has done with regardless of, if we move out COVID out of the way, you look at everything that's been scaling up. That's what brings more excitement and confidence back into the marketplace. I see that as more of what people want, what the American population wants, especially as they turn out in numbers more than I have ever seen in any election. And listen, I voted years ago. I voted one time for the other side and one time for President Obama. And Obama had a lot of people one time. Like there was mobs of people. Like it was big, especially the first time around. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people. But let me tell you, seeing President Trump, this campaign, not the last campaign. The last campaign, there was a lot of blue, a lot of Hillary, but I've never seen this many people before, man. I've never.
And I don't think we've heard from the silent majority. And, I don't think that, here's my take with Biden is that you've been in government 47 years. You've had a long time to do some things.
Right?
And I don't say that just because he's a Democrat or it's vice president, but I give him the respect for he was vice president. I give him that respect because of the position he held. I wish other people could get over that and hold everybody respectful positions. But long story short is, I think you've had your turn, and I'd say the same thing if it was Trump, if it was President Trump that had been hanging out for 40 some years.
That's true. Well, that's true. I mean, that's a good point. You look at it, and I think there's a lot of that whole back part of where people say, hey, do you want a pre-existing politician who's been there for 47 years, or do you want the guy who's never been a politician, who can't be bought, all that kind of stuff that people have always talked about, right? In politics, people always say, oh, but there's corruption, they're just getting it for the money, right? Oh, they're getting a salary. I mean, all those things, no matter which president it's been or which politician, it's those common undertones or statements that people have made that said, oh, well, that doesn't happen with him. So.
And now they got what they wanted, and now they don't like it. Because they can't control it.
Oh, man, it's so true. Oh, man, it's so interesting. I have to say, I say this is my little prediction. I think from what I've seen that this is probably going to be, and President Trump will definitely announce it, I'm sure. I think this is going to be the most people that have ever voted in history in the United States. I think more people have come out.
Alive.
Dead or alive. Yeah, dead or alive. Man, it's really interesting. So your projection, just want to make sure I get this straight. Your projection is if everything remains the same another 4 more years, that things are going to grow and get better.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that, I'll put it plain and simple. Who do I think I'll make more money under? President Trump or Vice President Biden?
That's a good point.
I think that I'll make more money under President Trump than I will Vice President Biden. Just looking at policies, track records, and everything, tax plans, and that's what's going to benefit my family more.
Yeah,
that's what I look at.
Yeah, and I think that's that's the way I've always put those two things in boxes, right? If you look at blue is definitely more programs and more taxes, and then red is more we'll adjust the system so that puts more money back in people's pockets. And actually, you know what, Mike? When I think it was 2018 when there was the new tax reform bill, I literally called some people that I knew were working middle class, and I said, "Did you see a change in your paycheck?" Because there was the whole thing. Like I think it was like a March 23rd. I don't know. It was like this date. Yeah. Everything was going to change. And I started asking some family and friends. I said, "Did you see a change?" They're like, "Oh yeah, well my check went up. I noticed the taxes went down." I said, "Okay, just wanted to confirm, just wanted to see." And fuel prices have gone down a lot for multiple reasons. And I just look at those little things. The more times that the government can put more money in people's pockets to boost the economy, to get entrepreneurial, to pump money into the economy, that's what I'm all for. And Mike, I say this more strongly now than ever before because I can see both sides. I'm living in a socialistic government right now. And I grew up in in the United States. I grew up in a very entrepreneurial, but also republic. And I've also been living in Uganda. Going back to United States and living here in a socialistic country, man, it is not easy. I am like fed up to here with the socialism that's going on. It's crazy. And don't get me wrong, there's parts that are nice, like free healthcare and all that stuff. But man, it is brutal when it comes to the systems and taxes. I mean, taxes, it's loaded. You get probably taxed more than you make income. It's crazy. Oh man.
Gotta carry those programs.
You gotta have the programs, yeah. Oh man. Anyway, so good thoughts. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. Any final thoughts, Mike, as we wrap up today's show? Because that's about all we got going on. So for today, what are your last closing thoughts for today? Words of wisdom.
I guess since we're talking, just be flexible in your business, and I think we talked about adaptability a little bit, and I was talking about but adaptability is going to come into play depending on how this election goes too. You have to be adaptable in your business. So this all kind of comes together, and being flexible with your business. Don't get set in one track. I'm always looking, don't go after the next shiny object, but always, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of things that's happening, things that's going on, trends and things like that. And if you need to adjust your business, adjust it. I mean, a good productive business is always adjusted. That's true. Along the way. That's true. I mean, it's what you got to do.
That's true. That's some great advice. Got to change in the times. Got to change in the situation. And hopefully you're going to get out of that situation real soon. That's what I know we all hope for. So that'll be good. Good. All right. Well, good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining in, for chatting in, and sharing your comments. If you have any questions or comments on the replay, throw it in the comments below, and we'll get back to you. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. right here on the No Fear Investing Show. Take care.
Time to fire your boss. That's right. You heard me straight. It's time to fire your boss. Check it out. I'm here in beautiful São Miguel, Azores Islands, one of 9 islands. What you're seeing behind me is one of the crater lakes, and there's mountains all the way around. Absolutely beautiful here today. I literally just took a few moments to get off a call with one of our clients who is in the same position, trying to fire his boss. And he enrolled into our coaching program and just wanted to make a big difference in his life. And I know there's a lot of people out there who want to make a difference in their lives and in their families' lives and other people's lives, and giving and caring about other people as well. At the same time, you want to make a change in your own life. You want to do something different. You wanted to make an impact in your life, that you want to take your life to that next level, to do things that you never thought or just maybe dreamed of. This is the business for you. 15 years ago when I first started real estate investing, I was broke, working 3 jobs, never wanted anything else than just money. That's all I cared about, was just money. That was it, because I was so broke and tired, and I was fed up with the bosses that I had. And one day I asked my manager of the entire store, and I said, "Hey man, how much money do you make?" And he said, $60,000 a year. When I had just come from a real estate event the prior weekend, and they were telling me I could make 6 figures, multiple 6 figures in a year. Immediately, when he told me he made 60,000, I immediately said, "I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice. I'm out of here." He was shocked. He was shocked because I had just, I think a week or 2 earlier, I had become the manager of the men's department in the store. And I worked so hard to get there. It took me months. I had to go through training and all this stuff. But he was shocked. He's like, "What are you talking about? What's up? Why are you not doing this?" And I said, "I found a better opportunity." He said, "What?" I said, "Real estate investing." He's like, "Real estate investing?" He's like, "Don't you need a license?" I said, "No, there's a way I can do it without a real estate license." And he said, "But why are you going to do that? How much money can you make?" I said, "From what I saw, I said 6 figures and above." And he just laughed at me. He's like, "You'll never make that kind of money." Now, why he laughed at me, I'm not sure. Maybe he was embarrassed or shy or whatever. Maybe he thought it was a scam. Either way. But I'll tell you this. Those 6 figures have come true many times. If you've been following me, you know my lifestyle. You know I travel internationally. I invest in 3 different countries, and I'm able to not have to wake up or deal with a boss. This is my boss right here. Saying, "Come to me, come enjoy me, come and have a good time and enjoy nature." That's my boss. The demand of the hills, the demand of the mountains. Oh, it's so difficult. But for the past few years, I've been investing internationally, and I absolutely love it. It gives me the opportunity not only to experience new cultures, but also to travel anywhere I want, when I want, with who I want, preferably my family. And they're right over here in the car waiting to go get some ice cream. So we're gonna go do that. I just wanted to share this video with you as a reminder that you need to flip the switch. You need to take action in your life. You need to do something different. Otherwise, you'll just keep doing the same thing, waking up to the alarm clock, going to the job that you hate, and doing that repetitively over and over and over again. And if you continue to do that, you'll end up noticing that years will go by, months and moments. You'll miss out on some of the most amazing things in this world, the most beautiful things in this world. So don't take much longer. This is a new year. Don't take much longer to make that change. Even though it's scary, even though it's a challenge, even though it's a hurdle, at times, sometimes it's the biggest thing. Make sure you get a coach and a mentor that can help push you and guide you and help you avoid costly mistakes. You don't want to get into costly mistakes, but you also want to be in the best investment opportunity, the best investment wealth vehicle than anything else, and that's real estate investing. Go out there, make something happen, get more deeper into this business. And I can tell you the truth, when you get deeper, you'll find me. I'll be right there. I'll be by your side.
About to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out.
check, you guys. Can you see that? $34,000.
You can do this. I believe in you. 2, 3. You can do this. I believe in you. All right, give yourself. Just do it. Just do it.
Now looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, done with my own doubts.
Right, so we made it to the equator. We just there's some girls right there. Sorry, I'm in the way. There's the equator line.
You're gonna love that. It's got a pit in it. This is moonshine from the south. It's got a pit. Isn't that delicious?
Oh, what is that? That is nasty.
I don't know what the answer.
Take my
Somebody's missing.
hand, we'll
Daytime,
make it
daytime.
somehow. We can't miss out.